This episode is brought to you by 1010. 1010 is an exclusive collection of 10 one-of-a-kind engagement rings, designed by 10 of the most distinctive designers working today. Using only diamonds responsibly and sustainably sourced from Botswana, 10 design masters have each produced a uniquely beautiful diamond ring, launching exclusively on January 18th at BlueNile.com. This exciting limited edition collection of diamond engagement rings launches on January 18th, and you can preview it exclusively at BlueNile.com. This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 859, 10 Lessons for Kids About Life's Infinite Possibilities, Part 1, by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve, and thanks so much for taking the time to join us today and optimize yourself in spite of the holiday hysteria. I am your host, Greg Audino, ready to bring you the first part of an article today from Jay and Heather Harrington. This one is especially good for the parents out there, as we will be learning about what lessons we can pass on to children about life's infinite possibilities. I know they're probably too busy thinking about toys right now to focus, but maybe in a few days you can bring out the following tools for the kids. Let's get right into this post and start optimizing your life. 10 Lessons for Kids About Life's Infinite Possibilities, Part 1, by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. Over the last few weeks, Heather and I have made a concerted effort to divide and conquer more with our kids. Instead of always treating our girls as a unit, we've spent more time with each individually. This has been great. Instead of each competing for our attention, which often leads to acrimony, we've had opportunities to have deeper, more meaningful conversations, especially with our 8-year-old daughter. It happened in a blink, but she's starting to ask more questions about the big world outside of our family unit. She wants to know more about what high school will be like, what college is for, and how people make a living. There is nothing she would rather be doing at this point in life than creating art, so she's particularly interested in how people craft creative careers. We explained to her that every book she reads, every song she hears, every garment she wears, and every picture hanging on the wall was created and sold by someone who had a vision and the gumption to bring something new into the world. Right now, she's curious. She wants to learn. She's like most kids at this age, eager to soak up information about what's to come and what's possible in life. There's a reason that kids aspire to be astronauts, professional athletes, dancers, and the President of the United States. They haven't been told yet that their ambitions are too high. Unfortunately, as we get older, quote-unquote reality starts to set in. We extinguish the flames that light us up during our youth. It doesn't have to be this way. But for those who transcend life's obstacles to truly and fully live life on their own terms, it doesn't happen by accident. Passion and zest for life's possibilities must be nurtured and cultivated. There's a great deal we want to teach our kids about what's important and what's not regarding life. When they're ready, here are 10 things we want them to know. Work hard on the things you love. It has become cliché for people to say that no one on their deathbed looks back and wishes they had spent more time working. This is too simplistic. If you love what you do, if you derive meaning from your work, if you affect people in a positive way, then work hard. Harder than feels comfortable sometimes. Make sacrifices for your work. Become the best at what you do. Don't just make a living. Don't make work everything. But if you do work, make an impact. Try life in a big city. We've lived in big cities, and now we live in a small town. When we lived in Chicago, we were young, didn't have kids, and life was more carefree. It was the right time to embrace the energy of a big city before settling into the slower pace afforded by a small town. And we appreciate what we have now even more for having experienced the polar opposite. Take advantage of your youth and freedom to try life in a big city. Just don't get caught up in the rat race and forget that the bright lights of a skyline are no substitute for the stars in a big sky. Be happy for other people's success and expect the same from those around you. Envy is toxic. There will always be someone smarter, richer, and better looking out there. Don't play the comparison game. Don't chase status. Don't base your own happiness and self-worth on other people's opinions about your choices. Be unabashedly you, and be happy for other people's success. Look at the amazing things other people are doing, and instead of being discouraged by how you feel you've fallen short, be inspired by what's possible. And, perhaps most importantly, expect the same from those around you. Run in circles of people that lift each other up, not drag each other down. Know what's right for you. Some of your friends will backpack the world. Others will take what seem like exciting jobs in fast-paced environments. You may choose to do these things too, but do them for the right reason, because they are right for you. Have self-awareness. Pay attention to what makes you happy and do more of it. Conversely, and this sounds simplistic, avoid things that don't make you happy. Just because this sounds simple, however, doesn't mean it's easy. There are infinite choices ahead of you. There are preconceived notions about what the American dream is all about, most of which involve chasing, acquiring, and striving. But remember that the American dream, at its core, is really about one thing, which is putting yourself in a position to live life on your terms. Don't let anyone else tell you what's most important or valuable. Know what's right for you, know your why, and never let it go. To be continued. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled 10 Lessons for Kids About Life's Infinite Possibilities by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. And a quick word from our friends at BetterHelp. There are many healthy practices we can take when navigating our relationships, one which includes speaking to a professional therapist should you need any. BetterHelp helps connect you and your personal licensed professional therapist online, where you can schedule your weekly video or phone sessions at your own convenience. With their counselors specializing in stress, family conflicts, LGBT matters, and more, they make it easy for you to change your counselors whenever needed. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. No more sitting uncomfortably in a waiting room. Gain the flexibility of messaging your counselor anytime. BetterHelp is not self-help, it is professional counseling where everything you share is confidential. And guys, I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/ORD. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ORD. A really wonderful and insightful beginning here by the Harringtons, nothing new there. As I usually do in the two-parters, I'm going to save most of my commentary for tomorrow once we've finished up. A lot to chew on here already, though, so I hope you're left feeling contemplative today, as all of this definitely applies to adults as well as children. Never too late to start applying these kinds of lessons to oneself. So with that, have a great Christmas Eve, and do stop in tomorrow to help us celebrate the big day with more inspirational content from this post and where your optimal life awaits.